Here is my top 5 investments for solo players in 2024. Now that is right, ladies and gentlemen, I made this video about a year ago now, and a lot has changed. We got new things in the game, some things have been buffed. So I wanted to recreate this video, not only because there's been a few changes, but as you guys know, maybe some of you do, maybe some of you don't, maybe you've just been subscribed for a day or a week or a month. We've got about 250,000 more subscribers than we did this time last year. So I thought I'd recreate this video, update it, and show you guys what I feel like is the top 5 investments for solo players. Now, keep in mind, this isn't just for beginners. Like, if you want me to do a beginner's guide, it would be slightly different. This, for me, is things that everyone needs. Whether you've been playing for a week, a month, a year, I would highly recommend that you have all of the things that I'm talking about in this video. It's just going to make your life so much easier. And honestly, this is all I need. Like, if I was to start a new account right now, this is all I would need and want to be able to make millions of dollars. I do have a guide on my channel, a beginner's guide. If you want to check that out, I'll leave it linked in the description down below. But honestly, go through this video. Let me know what you think. Let me know in the comment section down below if yours is any different or if you would add or change anything. And let's jump straight into it. All right, ladies and gentlemen. So we're going to be going down from 5, 4, 3, 2, 1 in order of what I think is most important here today. And in our number 5 slot, which shouldn't be any surprise to anyone, is actually going to be weapons. Now, weapons in this game, if you're new especially, can be a little intimidating. Like you can see right here, there's multiple for each slot, and it can be a little intimidating. You might not know what to buy, what's worth it, what's not worth it. And I'm just going to show you the 3 weapons, just 3 that I can live with. Just these 3. And if you'll notice if you watch my videos that these are really the only weapons you ever see me using. All right, so the first one is going to be right here, and it is, where are you? The Tactical SMG. Now you can see I've got the suppressor on this, the extended clip, and a scope. Now, you don't really need the scope for this weapon, to be completely honest with you. I don't use this for long range. Definitely always short range to medium range. This weapon came out during the San Andreas Mercenaries DLC, and since then, I absolutely love it, especially with the suppressor on it. It is just such a good weapon. But like I say, you will have noticed I use this gun in pretty much all of my videos if I have to use a gun. I think it is absolutely incredible, especially if you're doing any stealth missions. Having the suppressor on this is great. The only downside is it does, even though I've got an extended clip on it, you do have to reload it quite often. But I like to try and do as many things stealthy as I possibly can, and this thing is just incredible. It has quickly become one of my favorite weapons, and it is just so accurate. I absolutely love it. Let me know what you think in the comment section down below. But anyway, let's move on. So my next one is going to be right down here, which is the Heavy Sniper Mark II. Now on this weapon, I have the advanced scope, the extended clip, and the muzzle brake. Again, one of my favorite weapons to use. This thing has such a great scope on it. And when you're doing missions, you can just make sure you land further away in the distance. You can just pick people off without having to go down there yourselves and possibly die. I absolutely love it. And for that reason, it is one of my top 3 weapons. And the most important, arguably, is this right here, the railgun. Now, this gun, as you guys know, is newer to the game. I say newer, it's been around for just under a year now, I believe. It may be a year, but I think it's just under a year now. And this thing is just incredible. Like, if you don't own one of these as a solo player, you need to. It just one-shots cars from a distance, and more importantly, it one-shots helicopters. You got to make sure you hit the helicopter, though. You can't go through the windows or anything like that. But this makes your life so much easier, especially those missions where you just get waves of helicopters coming in. You can just pull this thing out, point, shoot, and it is just deadly. You don't have to wait like a rocket launcher and wait for the rocket to get there. This thing, you point, shoot, done. Now, this thing is only available in the gun van, but I always tell you in my weekly update video and my weekly update guide when it is available. So you'll always know when to buy this when it's available. Okay, now let's move on to number 4. All right, so this is something that was on my list last time, and it is still on my list because I definitely think it's important. And since this is an updated list, I have to keep it on that. And that is this right here, a living quarters. Now, you may be thinking, what do you mean a living quarters? So obviously, in a lot of the businesses you own, like this right here, the bunker, you have the option to purchase a living quarters. For example, if we go into my bunker right here, you can see personal quarters, which is something that I own. Now, what this does is lets you basically fast travel around the map. So let's say I'm here right now and I've just resupplied my bunker. All I need to do is go into preferences, and let's say I want to go to my auto shop. We just do that, go into here, go into online, find new session, and then you just spawn straight at your auto shop if you have a personal quarters. So as you can see, just like that, and we are in. The auto shop is actually, shout out the auto shop. I'll give it a shout out at the end of this video. I mean, the auto shop is absolutely incredible. This would have been on my list, but they did buff something recently, which has taken this's place. This is this one's place. If you don't own an auto shop, I'll just shout it out here right here. This isn't on the list, but technically this would be number 6. The reason I love this auto shop, not only do you have an incredible garage to showcase all of your favorite cars, it's also one of the businesses where you can resupply all of your snacks right here at the table at the bottom of the stairs. And also when you want to customize your vehicles, you have your own auto shop. And this is important for those lower level players or newer players, because a lot of the upgrades you might want to do to your car are not available at Los Santos Car Meet or at the LS Customs, I should say. Like, for example, certain wheels or certain colors, things like that. It'll say it's locked behind something. You've got to do something. When you own this business, a lot of those things will unlock. So you'll be able to put them on your car without completing all those tasks, essentially. And it is by far, I always customize. If you've seen any of my customization videos, they're always here at this business. So anyway, enough of that. Let's move on to number 3. And this number 3 spot, ladies and gentlemen, is the one that took this business's place. So let's go. All right, so we are here at our business after using our fast travel, because obviously we have our living quarters right here. If you haven't guessed it already, that is right. It is the hangar. Now, there's multiple reasons to own this business. I'll say one of them or a couple of them right here, right now, before I get into the reason this has been added to my list. The first reason, which is kind of a stupid reason to buy it, but if you were like me at the beginning, when you're looking at buying a hangar, obviously there's a lot of cheaper ones down here at the airport. But if you didn't know, when you purchase a hangar up here at Fort Zancudo, you can fly over it without having to worry about getting a wanted level. And for me, a lot of the missions, I'm always flying up and down, especially when I was a lower level player, and it just drove me insane having to fly around it. So purchasing it here in this location will let you fly straight over it. So for me, that's a big plus. The other big plus, obviously, is just having a place to store all of your vehicles, especially vehicles like my Golden Jet that I never use, which I guess is just a flex. I bought it for... you don't need it. Definitely don't invest in that. I'm going to be honest with you. But the main reason I would purchase this business is for what it is, right? It is for sourcing cargo and selling air freight cargo. Now, if you didn't know, last year when I made this video, you couldn't sell these, or I should say you could only sell these as air freight, which kind of made sense because we do have the special cargo warehouses where we can do ground vehicle deliveries. And this was just one that was different with air vehicle deliveries. Now, I personally don't think they needed to change it. I think they just needed to make the missions, the sell missions, maybe a little bit easier, because if you don't know, if you've tried them, they can be incredibly difficult as a solo player, because you can be flying to sell your cargo, get the police helicopters chasing you and all this stuff, and it just gets blown up, and you don't really have any defenses unless you're doing it with somebody else. But like I say, this is a solo video. But what they have done recently since my last video is they have buffed this business, and it is incredible. Now, I don't have any cargo here to sell, but now you have an option to do ground sell vehicles and air freight sell vehicles. So we're going to ignore the air freight one. We have ground source missions, which are incredibly easy. They can take anywhere from 2.5 to maybe 5 minutes as a solo player. I would say on average, though, these take around 3.5 minutes. And you can literally just go back and forth. You can source this one. There's a 3-minute cooldown. So when you get back, you source this one and then this one and this one, and just keep going back and forth, and you'll continuously be able to fill up your cargo. So now with this buff, though, on sale missions, you can get like almost 4 million for a full one of these. And if you have 2 times pay, as you can see in this video right here, we sold this for almost 8 million, $7.8 million. And at 2 times pay, we were getting 1.6 million an hour, and that puts this business at $800,000 an hour at regular times. So a lot of people get excited for like the Union Depository Heist when that goes to 800,000, when it's like double, I think 3 times pay. But this is always like that. You can get $800,000 an hour right now with this business. So that is why this is one of my top 5 investments for solo players. I think this is incredibly important to own, specifically and especially if you like grinding out money and grinding out missions. You can do this by yourself. You can do it. You can invite people. But like I say, this is for solo. But as a solo player, you can source these cargo so quick, so easy, and within an hour make $800,000. And they're very easy missions. Very easy. I have guides on this on my channel. I'll have an updated one soon. But either way, that's why this is in my number 3 slot. Let me know in the comment section. I feel like this, for some reason, this is always like a topic of discussion. Like a lot of people don't like the hangar. But again, this is just my personal preference and the way I like to play this game. And for me, I love it. Let me know what you think in the comments. All right, guys, in my number 2 slot, everyone knows this exact position I'm in right now. That is right. We are here in my Casaca. Again, you can get snacks from right here if you need to. or we can just run straight upstairs right here and start up our Cayo Perico heist. Now, this used to be my number one. My number one is going to be a little... Well, we'll get to that in a minute. But this thing is incredible. There's been a lot of speculation or a lot of talk, a lot of drama, because they did nerf this. It used to be 25k to start this up. Now it's 100k, and you used to get a lot more money. Now you get a little bit less. But as far as a solo player, this is still, in my opinion, my favorite way to make money, and I still think the easiest way. You can complete this entire heist from start to finish in about 45 minutes comfortably. I have a lot of videos on my channel showing you how to do that. I'm also going to have a guide on my channel coming up here soon, a fully from start to finish, all of the setups, telling you if you need to do the disruption missions, all of that. That's going to be coming up soon. Just an updated one for 2024. But this is still one of my favorite ways to make money. Let me know if you guys still enjoy using this, or if you still enjoy the Cayo Perico heist, or what do you do instead? I know a lot of people, you're either Cayo Perico heist, or you are the agency, right? The Dre missions. A lot of people like doing that. For me, as far as grinding out money, I don't like doing the Dre missions. It just feels like it takes too long. And there's just so many missions. It is fun to do, but I don't do the Dre missions very often, unless it's double pay. But for me, the Casaca is always going to have a place in my heart. I love doing the Cayo Perico heist. And you can still easily make like $1 million in 45 minutes with this business. And a lot of people, I would do this and then I would go and grind out the hangar. And then after a few hours, I would come back and do this when it's available again and then do the hangar. But if you're somebody that doesn't have as much time and you want to just jump in 45 minutes doing this, you're good to go. One thing I will say about the Casaca, something you do need 100%, and it is one of the best vehicles in the game in my opinion, is this right here. You need to get the Moonpool vehicle, and you need to get this. And by Moonpool vehicle, I don't mean the submarine down below. I mean this right here, the Sparrow. This will make your setups doing the Cayo Perico heist so much easier. Not only that, just when you're out doing other things, let's say your oppressor's broken or your buzzard's broken or whatever it is, you can always spawn this, and it always spawns super close to you. And this has been buffed recently. They did, I think it was a 50% armor buff on the Sparrow, because this thing was made of paper. It's still not incredible. It's still pretty weak, but it's much better than it was. So if you're gonna get the Casaca, make sure you get the Sparrow as well. And I don't maybe some people will argue with this one in the comment section, but let me know what you think. Let's move on to number one. All right, guys, it is officially time for my number one item, my number one investment that I think every solo player needs. Now, in my last, if you saw my last top 5 investment videos, I talked about this, and it was kind of controversial because I said the thing I use more than anything to grind out missions, grind out money, was the buzzard. And I still absolutely love the buzzard. I love you can go to the CEO abilities right here. You can go to vehicles and you can spawn it right here for free if you own it. And it is still truly an incredible vehicle. It's much stronger. The problem with that is I said that I don't really, I get the oppressor. I just don't really use it too often. I still choose the buzzard over the oppressor. Not anymore, ladies and gentlemen. As you guys know, I have been converted. I'm going to request my personal vehicle right here. And it's the oppressor Mark II, ladies and gentlemen. The oppressor Mark II. Now, obviously, if you are a newer player, this is going to be something that you are going to have to grind to be able to get, because it is expensive these days. They have nerfed it, buffed it. They've just made it more expensive. So you can see the buy it now price is now $8 million. Or obviously you're going to want to get the trade price right there for $6 million. But this thing, yeah, I've been converted. It is absolutely incredible when you're grinding out missions. Like when I'm talking about the hangar missions, when you're sourcing those, always source the ground vehicle missions. And you can do it with this. Like I say, I've had videos on it where I've done some of them in 2.5 minutes. I would say the average is 3.5 minutes. But the reason I absolutely love this thing is A, it just gets around the map incredibly fast. Obviously, it doesn't have unlimited missiles in it. I think it's got 20 available and then it runs out. But for the most part, I'm always storing this and pulling it back out, which always restocks it anyway. And a lot of the time, I'm not needing to really shoot people. If I did want to shoot people, if it was something that I knew I had to use a lot of rockets, I would choose the Sparrow over the buzzard now, even more so, because A, it is stronger than it used to be. Not as strong as the buzzard, but it's stronger than it used to be. But the Sparrow also has unlimited missiles. And not only are they unlimited, you can just spam them, right? Unlike the buzzard where you can shoot 2 and then there's like a little cooldown, then shoot 2. The Sparrow, you can just shoot forever. And it's incredible. But this thing, for what it needs, or for what you need it for, which is grinding out money, this thing is absolutely incredible. I've been converted, okay? From the last time I did this video, I said the buzzard. A lot of you guys were like, nah. If you want to grind out money, you need the Oppressor Mark II, and I'm right there here with you guys. So another thing, just in case you don't own the Oppressor Mark II, when you're on it, if you hold down your handbrake, you can see the little flaps go in like that. Always hold it down when you're flying, essentially, just because it speeds it up just a little bit. But anyway, guys, that is my top 5 solo investments for anyone in the game. Whether you're newer to the game and you have to grind out to get some of these things, or if you've been playing the game for a while like I had and I just decided, you know what, the Oppressor's not for me, I prefer the Buzzard, just give it a shot. Give it a try. Use it a little bit more. You'll fall in love with it. But we've gone over the weapons here today, the 3 weapons that's all I need that I can live with. We've gone over the living quarters you need to be able to jump around. Okay, come on, that's not me. Come on, don't make me look like a pervert. We've gone over the Casaca, which is still my tried and tested and favorite way to make money in this game still to this day, even after the buff. And now we have the Oppressor Mark II right here. Let me know what you guys think in the comment section down below and leave some suggestions. If there's any newer players and they want to see what other people think, leave it in the comment section down below. Do you agree with me? Do you disagree with me? I hope you're all having a fantastic day. I'm currently on vacation when you're watching this, but I'll be back soon. I promise you. Anyway, I hope you enjoy the rest of your day and I'll see you tomorrow with a brand new video. No, I won't. I'm lying to your faces. I just said I'm on vacation. I'm not home right now, so I'm not going to be giving you a brand new video tomorrow, but there'll be one soon, all right? Anyway, enjoy the rest of your day, and I'll see you soon. Goodbye.